December 16, 1944. The Ardennes forests on the border of Belgium and Germany are buried in snow. Thick milky fog presses the branches of ancient firs to the ground. The air temperature has dropped to 10 degrees below zero. Here begins the last large-scale German offensive in the West. The silence of the winter morning is disturbed only by the distant rumble of engines. American soldiers in the trenches near Bastogne shiver from the cold. They do not yet know that in an hour, a hail of steel will fall upon them. The air smells of pine and the imminent gunpowder smoke. Suddenly, in the heart of the forest, the space begins to tremble. The air distorts as if from an invisible powerful discharge. A sharp bang, similar to a thunderclap, is heard. On the snowy clearing, 12 tall figures appear. This is a special forces group from the year 2026. The fighters are wearing modern white camouflage suits. Underneath, they have 6th class protection sets. The digital camouflage pattern completely blends with the forest. Their helmets are equipped with panoramic night vision devices. They hold Silent Val 2 and AK-12 automatic rifles. The fighters carry equipment from the future on their backs. They have satellite communication systems and tactical tablets. Reconnaissance begins immediately after the portal stabilizes. A small reconnaissance quadcopter rises silently into the sky. The operator sees a clear thermal image of the forest on the screen. Modern technology knows no obstacles like fog and darkness. German units are visible as bright spots among the trees. The comparison of forces looks incredible to a person of that time. A German infantryman is armed with a Mauser 98 rifle. He needs to reload the bolt after each shot. A special forces soldier fires 30 bullets in a couple of seconds. The heavy German Koenigsteiger tank inspires fear in enemies. Its frontal armor reaches 150 millimeters of steel, but the Cornet anti-tank missile penetrates a meter of metal. It is guided by a laser beam at a distance of 5,000 meters. The Orsi's T-5000 sniper rifle shoots up to 2 kilometers. A regular helmet from 1944 won't protect against it. The first contact occurs on a forest road in 5 minutes. A German reconnaissance squad walks right into an ambush. Soldiers in gray greatcoats freeze at the sight of strange people. They have never seen such helmets in future uniforms. The special forces operate extremely quickly and absolutely silently. 12 short claps merge into one quiet sound. Special 9x39 caliber bullets do the job. The Germans fall into deep snowdrifts without even having time to scream. The patrol is destroyed in 2 seconds without a single return bullet. This becomes the beginning of a secret operation called Frontier. The special forces advance towards the enemy's heavy artillery positions. Kamikaze drones Lancet 3 take off on their combat course. They are aimed at headquarters vans and ammunition warehouses. The first explosion thunders exactly at 5 in the morning. This happens before the start of the German artillery preparation. The Lancet flies precisely into the hatch of the command armored personnel carrier. The second drone destroys the fuel depot for tanks. A grand battle begins in the complete darkness of the winter forest. The sniper takes position at the top of an abandoned tower. Through the thermal imager, he sees the gun crews at the forest clearing. Each of his shots takes the life of a commander or a gunner. The bullets pass through the gun shields as if through paper. German soldiers in panic abandon their positions. They do not understand where death comes from in the night gloom. There are no muzzle flashes and the sound is drowned out by the noise of the blizzard. At this time, the assault group attacks the tank column. Huge Panthers try to turn around on the narrow road. The special forces use rockets with tandem charges. The Cornet rocket slams into the side of the heavy vehicle. The explosion of the ammunition tosses the multi-ton turret upwards. The metal of German tanks burns with a blindingly white flame. The crews abandon the surviving vehicles and run into the thicket. The escalation of the confrontation grows at an incredible speed. The German command throws elite units into the battle. A column of Royal Tigers moves onto the straight road. The special forces commander gives the order to use mines. Intelligent anti-tank mines activate themselves. They hit the tank's weakest spot, its roof. The steel giants freeze, turning into heaps of scrap. The enemy infantry tries to bombard the special forces with grenades, but the active headphones of the fighters muffle the sound of the explosions. They continue to hear the whispers of their comrades on the radio. The AK-12 assault rifles mow down the ranks of the advancing troops. Collimator's sights allow them to shoot without missing. Americans in Bastogne hear this incredible roar. They see the glow of fires on the horizon and flashes of rockets. A sergeant from the 101st Airborne Division looks through binoculars. He sees enemy tanks exploding one after another. No Allied gun could have done that. Special forces switch to the American frequency on the radio. They transmit data on the location of German reserves. The voice from the future sounds clear amidst the static. An hour later, American howitzers begin a precise bombardment. Shells land precisely in clusters of vehicles and infantry. Germans suffer monstrous losses in the first hours of the battle. The offensive in the Ardennes collapses before everyone's eyes. The SSO group moves to clear a key communication node. They they burst into the building of an old forest mill. Flashbang grenades blind the guards inside the rooms. The fighters move like a single well-oiled machine. Finishing shots leave the enemy no chance. Secret codes and maps are captured intact. This is a complete tactical rout of the German group. By noon on December 17th, it's all over. The forest is littered with wrecked equipment and abandoned weapons. German generals issue a general retreat order. The plan to capture Belgium has finally turned into a myth. The special forces gather equipment for the return transition. They collect all their casings and empty magazines. No evidence from the future should remain here. The air begins to vibrate and glow blue again. 12 shadows dissolve into the winter forest mist. All that remains at their campsite is melted snow. American patrols enter the liberated positions. They look at the smoking remains of tigers with caution. No one can explain the nature of these destructions. Experts from Washington will arrive here in a week, but they will not find answers to their numerous questions. The history of World War II changed at that moment. The Germans could not gather forces to defend Berlin. The Eastern Front collapsed much faster. Soviet tanks entered the enemy's capital in February. The war in Europe ended 3 months earlier than planned. Millions of people remained alive thanks to this mission. A new secret folder will appear in the intelligence archives. There will be photos of strange people in digital camouflage. They will be called the ghosts of the Ardennes and forgotten for many years. Only after 80 years will the truth become known. One modern squad stopped an entire army from the past. It was a triumph of technology and the courage of the fighters. The Ardennes will forever remember the whisper of silent automatic weapons and the cold gleam of night vision device lenses. The Rubicon operation is officially recognized as successful. The world became different after that snowy December. The statistics of this short battle are mind-boggling. 120 tanks and 30 guns were destroyed. The losses of the Special Forces Group were 0. This is an absolute record in the history of military art. Glory to the heroes of the future for their feat in the distant past. The Battle of the Ardennes was won in just one day. The enemy's collapse became inevitable and final. The end of the operation and the return to the initial point in time.